Hi, Abimbola. Thank you
Hello,
so much for
Adebola.
this opportunity. Thank you. I'm so on board to be opening your series of podcasts, this series of podcasts on the Better Tribe. I am so excited and I am so looking forward to the next few minutes and how much knowledge we're going to gain from your experience and your journey. So thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Adebola, for agreeing to do this with me. I'm also really excited to have this conversation, and it being the first one. Looking forward to how it unfolds over however long we do it for. So thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Excited. So then, if I can just open up with the first question, if we can go to the start of your story. So, give us your background, your journey, from Nigeria to UK. What made you move?
Okay. So I moved to the UK 10 years ago now. Oh, it's been one decade already. So I moved because I wanted to come and do my master's in business administration. So the year before, my husband had come to do his master's, and towards the end of his program, he asked if I wanted to, come and do my master's as well. And I was like, of course, why not? I, it was a decision I made because I felt like I needed to learn more. I needed to expand my horizon beyond the confines of the environment that I was in. And I needed to take the opportunities that were presenting themselves to me. I think that decision was easier for me because I got a full scholarship to do my MBA. So it was like, okay, why not? If someone is handing you £15,000, who says no?
Absolutely.
So that made it a little bit easier. At that time, I had a 3-year-old. I moved with my son to join my husband in the UK. My first degree was in computer science and IT. So I'd worked in organizations not necessarily relating to computer science and IT. But then my husband and I started a management consulting firm to support micro enterprises to build their businesses, to scale, to access funding, to remain a viable business. So there were different things I was doing, So um, moving meant kind of toning that down and taking some time to expand my skills and my experience and my knowledge. When I moved, I wasn't sure if it was going to be to stay. I just knew the opportunity was there and we're going to take it. And 10 years later, here we are.
Amazing. And yeah, I would like to follow on from there then with in this 10 years then that you've journeyed in this UK, what would you say your career journey has been?
Okay, so my career journey, the first I would say I've moved from, well, have I moved? I think it's been a meandering, so it's not a, straight line kind of career trajectory.
Mhm.
So I would say I've worked within project delivery, and so the different elements of project delivery. So projects, program, specializing in benefits management, change management, working within portfolios, heading functions. So it's been different thing, but it's been a long project delivery, and helping organizations to optimize investment in change. Um, so I say that quite clearly at this point. It's not because I started out 10 years ago saying, oh, this is what I'm going to do over the next 10 years.
Right.
So my first job was as a telephone fundraiser for the university that I did my master's with. So They had a grant fund, and the role was to call alumni and kind of hear about their story, where they are in their careers, and then ask them to donate to that fund. That was a really, it was my first paid role in the UK.
Mhm.
So I was really excited about someone paying me to do something. So what that helps me to gain or to understand or to sharpen is my ability to communicate clearly enough
Mhm.
to kind of elicit the kind of response. Um, my ability to understand also people's communication and to also try to influence their decisions. So that was a really good starter for 10. My next role was then as a price analyst. So this was a more back office role, talking with the team and then comparing what the organization was doing and making sure we were competitively priced. So some analysis in that space. So that was the second one. My third role was working with an agency and being seconded as a pensions administrator to one of the really big banks in the UK. Now, I think that was one of the next kind of steps of role because the organization was massive. Just
Right.
approaching the building filled you with some kind of dread of what am I going to do in this building that is going to make sense. So that helped me to build confidence in myself, in the value that I could bring at that point in time, to understand that people that work in these buildings, they have just one head, and to build relationships, to be able to have conversations and, feel confident and to I think for me was more around a mind renewal around where I could access and where I could add value, and the fact that I was enough,
Mm.
at that point in time to enter whatever environment it was and deliver the value. So that was a really good experience for me. I then went into the civil service, which was another step of experience. If you've ever worked in the civil service, and especially with the organization I'm talking about, you know that there is opportunities and different experiences that you get to have from working with individuals from different backgrounds, from different spheres of life. Working in the civil service was an eye opener for me because it helps me understand the professional language, so that was where I started to pick up on things like competency models, competency frameworks, understanding professions and professional bodies and the influence they can have in terms of how you can grow and progress your career.
Mhm.
So for me, it was a learning place to kind of learn all of those things because it wasn't something I was very accustomed to. So from the civil service, I had about three different roles in that particular organization. One was as within a program team as the benefits management specialist on there. I then went into another role to look at the policies, processes, and procedures for project management across the organization. And then my third role in the organization was around corporate performance and finance. So that was around looking at the portfolio, the investment, and how that is managed or how that is reported on. I then went into another civil service organization as the head of benefits management to build and develop that professional function before I went into management consulting, um, which is around business advisory, strategy, and transformation. And my current role, I know I'm rushing all of these things, but we've got a short period of time. And my current role is as a global change partner. And what I do in that role is supporting strategic programs and ensuring that they are well prepared to implement the changes across the business. Now, this business is about 36,000 employees, so not a mean feat. So that's what I currently do.
Amazing. Thank you very much. What I tend to have seen in your career journey is, it's a gradual process. You've kind of moved. What would you say has probably been your biggest challenge along this journey?
I think for me, it's been confidence. Um, so before moving to the UK, I'd come to the UK on holiday a number of times, and um, one of the things that I just couldn't quite see was, when you walk in some of their business district or their business areas, and you see all those tall buildings, and you see people in suits, people dressed up going to work, and yeah, I'm like, I just couldn't kind of see myself in that space. I didn't think I really measured up. So one of my biggest challenges coming into the UK was building the confidence
Mm,
that goes along with the skills and experience that I had,
mm,
that I could then build on and create value for an organization. So that for me dictated the approach that I took. I needed to convince myself first that I believed that I was good enough. Because if I couldn't convince myself, then I couldn't convince someone else. And so that would have, if you ask for my biggest challenge, that would be it. It was the confidence to step
mm.
into any environment and say, yes, this is what I can do. Pay me for it.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. So you've taken, I mean, you've taken that big challenge, you've worked through it with the different opportunities that you've been exposed to. Thank you so much. And my last question for you
Yeah.
then is, what would you say are the top three things that you've learned
Mm.
on your career journey in the UK?
Yes. So top three things. I think the first one I'll talk about is you've got to learn the professional language. So what sector are you working in? What profession are you working in? Are you a project manager, data analyst, engineer? All of these different roles have professional bodies that sets the expectation for the role. So that was one of the things that really helped me when I joined the civil service is with every role, they kind of give you like a bank of things that you needed to read up to understand what the expectation for that
Mhm,
role is. So that
mhm,
really helped me upskill myself in terms of what is when I say I'm a project manager, what does the person at the other side of the table hear? Not what I am thinking, because I could see a difference between the roles that I would have called myself while I was in Lagos, Nigeria, and what the differences that exist in how those roles are performed here. So I
mhm,
needed to be able to communicate effectively to say, okay, if I say I am an expert in project management, what does that mean?
mhm,
So learning the professional language, learning the competency models, learning what is expected of you at different levels,
mhm,
so that you can evaluate yourself and put in the work where you need to improve things,
mhm,
and you can set out what your growth trajectory needs to be. And one of the ways that I did that was also to volunteer. So volunteering is one thing that you cannot remove from my experience or my career journey, is where I didn't find the opportunity to do something on my day job.
mhm,
I found a volunteering opportunity where I could use that skill, build myself up, and be able to convince myself and others that I
mhm.
had the experience to back up what I was claiming on my CV. So I
Right.
would say that is the first thing.
Mhm,
Every professional body has their bank of competency criterias and all of that. So find yours and evaluate yourself,
mhm,
do it for your growth, so that you can kind of work out what are the things that I need to work on, what are the gaps that I have, are they gaps that matter or not? Do
mhm,
I want to
mhm,
specialize? It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means that you know what you bring to the table, and you
Yeah.
can confidently talk about it.
Amazing.
Second tip, the learning never stops. So that one was just a difficult one for me because although I had just finished my master's, which was it was against what I thought was going to happen when I got out of school. So remembering when I finished my undergraduate, I said to myself, that's it, that's all the learning that is required for me to leave and to take over the world, and I don't know. It might have been because of the experience, the whole experience, and the rigor and the pain and all of that. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, I quickly realized that learning never stops, really.
Mm-hmm.
There's several courses and accreditations that I've taken
Mm-hmm.
this year, and there are more that I'm still going to take.
Yep.
So learning never stops. You need to unlearn some things that you've learned that are
Mm-hmm.
not quite meeting up to the standard and expectation here.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn new things, and you need to be open to learn,
Yeah.
open to asking questions,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, feeling comfortable enough to ask the stupid questions, because once you've
Yeah.
asked it, then
Yeah.
that's the end of it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, you might ask the question, and the people
Mm.
around the table were thinking the same thing,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
always ask questions and always seek to learn more,
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
seek to learn more. And then I think the third thing I will talk about is the people you have around you. So the
Mm.
network that you have around you, the company that you keep,
Mm-hmm.
it has a great impact on the progress that you can make or
Yeah.
not make. So I think evaluate the people that you have around you, the people that you surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
maybe not necessarily the people you have around you, but the people that you make a conscious decision to surround yourself with.
Right.
When it comes to your career,
Mm-hmm.
who are the people that you engage with at work? Who are the people
Mm-hmm.
that you reach out to? Who are the people that you talk to or do
Mm-hmm.
not talk to?
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because that might not be helping you. There's so many stories I can tell about how people that I got to know at work
Mm.
have created opportunities for me
Mm-hmm.
to kind of step up to access things that I wouldn't have been able to access by
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be able to build a network of sponsors and people that are championing for you, who
Yeah.
understand some of the work that you can do, who are seeing you in
Mm-hmm.
action and can speak
Mm-hmm.
for you in rooms that you're not in. So
Right.
I would say that's the third thing is, the network that you keep. And just to reiterate, the first thing is around just learn your profession's language
Mm-hmm.
and evaluate yourself and understand where you are in the
Yeah.
expectation levels. And then never stop learning. You can't even stop learning if you know you want to grow. It's just a truth, a fact and
Mm-hmm.
truth that you need to accept. So
Yeah.
accept it.
Yeah. And do the
Because
work.
if you don't accept it today, you have to accept it when you then
Oh,
come
you
to
do the.
realize that this is
Mm-hmm.
this is it. There's no other way,
Right.
and like you say, do the work. There
Yeah.
is work involved,
Yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
don't think that anything will be given. You have to qualify for it,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to sustain it,
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
say those are the three things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the three things that kind of, if you wanted three things, if you wanted like 10, we can
If we
continue, but
if we
time.
had all the time. Oh no, but that's been really, really good. That's been really, really helpful. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that's going to help somebody, learn whatever profession you're looking at, learn the language, never stop learning. Leaders, arenas, if you want to grow, you've got to learn. And you've talked about the network. Your net worth is your network. So your network really will determine your net worth, so you can't really run this journey alone. So that has been really, really amazing. Thank you so much for your time and have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you, Adibola. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the episode of our podcast. Please like, subscribe, and comment below so we can answer some of the questions that you have. Thank you.